Hey, what's up? This disciple Marchello, Currence, Rain, back up in this. Hey, I wanted to make a video right quick just to touch on something that I feel people should know about me personally. As you go through my videos and you find them, you're gonna want to probably know me more personally, and there'll be other videos in the future, and it may not explain certain things. So this video is going to explain why I move the way I move, certain apprehensions that I have. You know what I'm saying? And it's reason enough for me, personally. So I'm gonna get right to it. Ain't gonna waste no time. So back in 2019, I'm gonna go over two incidences. But the first one is 2019. Well, I go with the one that actually happened first. In 2019, early, probably around March, when I was in San Francisco, a black man saw me. I didn't know him. I'm talking about a complete stranger. He looks at me. I walk by. He said something to me, and I asked him what he said. He tells me, "Hey man, you need to go back to your own country. You ain't me. Look at your eyes." Now this is a black dude telling another dude that's not white or considered white by appearance to go back to his home country. Now, out of all races, that's the last race that you would think that would say, go back to your own home country. Because this is what is said to black people. So you see how weird that is? For a black man to tell me to go back to my home country. Now you can tell me the right thing to do. You can say all the right answers. You can say all the right stuff I should do. But at the end of the day, I'm human. I got feelings. And I'm gonna make people value me. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's by me making a distance between me and them, or in some other way. But I choose to put a distance between me and people who disrespect me. So, yeah, that happened, man. He said, look at your eyes, like to say I have eyes that are different from typical African people. Now, some people would have went ahead and fought the dude right there, then and there. That would have been a fight. And if I would have got the best of him, now I'm the jerk. To some people. Because, in my times of fighting, the times I have fought in the past, I do not fight to lose. I fight to win. But yeah, that happened, man. You know what I'm saying? And some people say, well, you need to let that go. That ain't everybody. But at the same time, it does make you feel some type of way about the people that's saying that's being real, super trill. It's easy to just say what you would do. It's easy to say how you should respond. When people, in my opinion, are not looking like the same people of the African ancestors. They're not looking like the African ancestors. They're not looking like those generations. They don't hold the values of those generations. And people are trying to make you honor them at all cost when they're constantly making mistakes. So it's just like, so how I see it is, okay, let me honor the OG per se. Let me honor the foundation and stay right there. Let me honor the foundation Instead of messing with people that done lost all the values, done lost all the perceptions, all the things that the foundation fought for. How I put it is, you don't have to respect all generations or embrace all generations of the African American community. At this point, that's where we at. You should feel somewhat compelled to embrace the first generations of the African Americans here that fought for freedoms, that were in slavery, the very first generations that I know of. They were in slavery, and then when they came out, they were fighting for their rights and fighting for everything, fighting for all type of other freedoms. Most people are compelled to a certain degree to respect and embrace those generations. Okay, that's what you should feel. I'm not saying an obligation, but that's what you should feel compelled to respect and to embrace concerning the African American community. Everything else that's going on right now and all this stuff going on, you do not have to embrace that. You do not have to embrace that community. And you can call it division, you can call it me making division. This is my personal opinion. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not maybe maybe you don't go, you haven't had somebody tell you to go back to your own home country. Maybe you haven't been through that. Okay, maybe you haven't had a black man stand and look at you and see that you're not white and tell you to go to your home country, and then made certain remarks about your features, like my eyes, like saying, look at your eyes. I mean, he went that far. So how do you, some people say, well, you should have looked at him as crazy. Not when he making specific remarks about distinguished details about my appearance. He's looking at my eyes and everything and making comments and distinguishing me from black people. He ain't that crazy. That's real. So while a lot of you guys have not been through that, and a lot of you black people would not ever go through that in your society or in America, you're not here, you're quick to judge. You're quick to judge how people move, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to know what I've been through. So for all these other people that would say this, that, and the third, that's facts. That's solid. That happened. Now, you can sit up and paint a perfect melody and paint a perfect picture and take your crayons and color a perfect picture of what I should do and how I should respond. But in reality, like I said, I'm a human being down here on earth with feelings, my own mind, my own heart and soul. That's what I'm saying. And I choose to, in the situation, just refrain from, I embrace people on an individual basis at this point. That's what I do. That's the wisest thing to do. Instead of just cutting everybody out and everything like that, which I could do that too. Some people will understand me on that, feel me on that. You know what I'm saying? We're not living in the times of what people need to understand. We are not living in the times of Tupac. We're not living in the times of Martin Luther King Jr. We're not living in the times of Bob Marley. We're living in 2021 where you can't trust nobody in America. You can't trust nobody because they black. You can't trust no black community methods and people as a unit. No. I'm sorry. Because what I see is the main elephant in the room is the black on black crime, and I don't see anybody rising to the occasion to address these things in an intense, urgent manner. So nothing is going on to me. All right, now, the next thing that happened, this is another incident. This is the second one. I told you I was going to tell you two in this video. The second one was worse. This didn't get better. This got worse. A black man called my mom a nigger. A black dude, man. A black dude called my mother that birthed me, my real mother, a nigger. And he black. Now, this wasn't left for misinterpretation. My mother is too old for you to use the cool word. I'm 40 years old myself. So do the math on that. I'm kind of too old for the people to use that word with me. I'm getting too old. By some people's standard. For people to be using that word to me. So just imagine somebody calling my mom a nigger, telling me in an offensive way, for no reason, we were arguing, and he said he calls my mom a nigger. I don't care. He was not drunk like that. He was not high like that. No. He wasn't staggering out of his mind. No. And the way I noticed when I confronted the person on it the next year, he said, yeah, and you are too. Now, this is a person, I'm going to tell you who this person is. This person served in the military. Okay, so you would know this is not no crazy wacko person. This is a person that tried to destroy me any way they could. This is a person that is a part of the African American community by ethnicity. If you don't, everyone like to not embrace African Americans when they make real bad mistakes. You want to banish them away. You don't want to take credit, but you want to take credit for people that's got even 1% African. Yeah, that's a part of our people. Come on now, you know I'm right. A lot of these mulatto people, I mean, more white than black. You quick to say they black. But soon as they make a mistake, they, everybody want to be quiet. Nah, man, nah. I just want you to know. A member of your community by ethnicity called my mom a nigger. Down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yeah. Dude named Anthony Jackson down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yeah. Call my mom a nigga. And you know what the people around him said? Oh, them were just words. Now, if a white man had called my mom a nigga, you would be ready to get in the car with guns. You would be ready to fight. You see how people think you got a pass just because you're black, you get to say something? Just because you're black, you get to shoot black people, you get to harm black people. You don't have a pass because you're black. So this is the reason why I moved the way I moved, man. You know what I'm saying? This is why. I came up here in 2017, moved in with a black dude. Got a job and everything. He didn't have to help me. I'm 40 years old. I'm old school when it comes to looking for a job. I get the numbers. I simply call and see who's hired. I came up here, got hired for a job on Christmas Eve. Got the job. That's how bad you know I wanted a job. I got the job on Christmas Eve. This man, when I went back, told him he ain't even seen that happy. Now, remind you, he done brought me from North Carolina to New York. I done moved in with him. Right? We're in the studio. I found my own job. Got my own situation. He tried to tell me how to find a job, and he, he thought I was being arrogant. Tried to make me go to a library like a kid. I didn't need to do that. These days, you don't need to do that. You just need a list of numbers. That's what I do. I keep it old school. You don't need to be going on these little websites looking for nah. I don't do that. I call them straight up and everything. Ask them, are they hiring in the first place? You know, some little websites that show you openings, but 1,000,000 people see the opening. That part. That part. That's the bad part about going on these websites looking for jobs. Everybody and their mama done applied for the job. So this dude called. So I got a job. We living together from November. We started living together in November. Now it's December at this point. Okay, got the job on Christmas Eve. I lived with him almost a good month. A little over a month and a half, something like that. He talking about, oh well, you need 2 jobs. Yeah, the audacity. After a young man, younger than him, then came from North Carolina to New York to Staten Island, got a job in Staten Island, and he gonna sit up and tell me in my face, that's a slap in the face, man. Okay, we all need more money. If we're gonna talk about multiple jobs, then you would need 3, 4, 5. But you should be glad that I've scored a job living with you. Now I don't gotta depend on you. This dude gonna tell me I should have 2 jobs. That's a play. That sounds like a player hater right there a little bit. Keep it real. I mean, because I don't see how you can really look at me needing multiple jobs, and I came from North Carolina. So then he goes on to tell me, oh well, now this is just random stuff. Well, if I wasn't on my medication, I'd be the type of dude stabbing people on the train. This is what he told me. Then he reneged on it and said he didn't say it. How could I make up details and be that descriptive? He's already showed weird behavior, telling me I need 2 jobs. Like he don't have no kind of understanding how hard it is to get a job. So you do the math on it. Dude I met at a shelter. I'm not trying to stereotype, but a dude I met at a homeless shelter. You know what I'm saying? Staying by himself, reclusive basically, and just saying and said that to me. You know, I don't have no reason to make that up on him. But that's what weird people do. They'll sit up and say, "Oh, I didn't say that," and you know they did say it. Yeah, man. So anyway, man, after he said all that, I told him. I said, "See, this is why I don't deal with black people." I told him that. And he went and told people, whether it was the police he know or certain people in the community he know, he went and told somebody that. Because the whole energy changed when I got to my next place where I was living. He went and told somebody I was being racist. When black people always, we know that among ourselves. It's just some things we know we can't do with black people, which is live with each other. A lot of times, people say that black people cannot live with each other. If you haven't said it, your mom said it. Black people just can't do nothing together. They can't get along. They can't do nothing together. In essence, that's what I was saying. This is why I don't mess with black people. Can't do nothing. You can't. Something goes wrong. In essence, and basically. So for him to take that moment of frustration and what I said and put his own swing and interpretation on it is just another example of the statement I made. This is why I stay away. I gave you other examples. Somebody calling my mom a nigger. This is why I stay away. Somebody telling me to go back to my own home country. Look at my eyes. This is why I stay away. Oh, by the way, this guy was a school teacher. A substitute school teacher that brought me from New York, that brought me from North Carolina to Staten Island. This guy was a substitute school teacher. So this is not people that is just their head stuck in between their legs somewhere. And yet they make these crazy bogus, these crazy comments and things. So this is why I moved the way I moved. I deal with in essence, you would say, well, what is that way that you move? I embrace people on an individual basis. When it comes to all that packing up with any kind of race or any kind of people in America, no, I'm not doing that. You're not gonna see me really doing that. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say, oh, you shouldn't be like that. Nah, that gotta be acknowledged. That's why I'm doing this video. I'm acknowledging what has been done. And it takes really two to acknowledge an issue. It takes two properly to acknowledge any issue. It takes confronting to acknowledge, to get things acknowledged. You gotta confront. I'm not gonna sit back and lurk in the shadows of things. I confront these things. I've told many people about these things. You know, this is why I make it open. I make it public. This is why I don't totally embrace the African American community. Now, if you could take that how you want to take it, but all I see that's worse than that is people shooting each other and killing each other and everything like that. It ain't kicking you while you're down. This has been going on for decades and years, and it's getting worse. It's not rejecting you in a low time in your life, or in a low time in a valley low of the community itself. It's not that. It's been going on and it's getting worse. And now you can't even reference. This has been going on so long and time done went by so much. You can't even reference people like Tupac. You can't say what Tupac would do in this situation. People doing things like this, telling you to go back to your own home country, calling your mom a nigga. What would you think Tupac would do? Oh yeah, it's all good. It's still all good. They don't even sound like him. I'm embracing it. People now on an individual basis. That's what I'm doing. And so while you referencing people, so much time, like I said, that went by, those references are old because they haven't lived in your times. Things have changed so much that you can't reference somebody like MLK, Bob Marley. You can't say what they would do in this situation because all this crazy stuff that's going on. So while you sitting up thinking you're being like one of those guys, you really can't say that because you don't know how they would respond to the foolishness and the craziness and the evil that's in the black community. You can't say they would still be embracing the black community. You can't say that. How they turning on each other. This wasn't going on back then. Newsflash. A lot of time has went by, man. A lot of time has went by. And you got people that's shell-shocked and they don't act like they know that. You see the same thing going on. You shell-shocked by it. And more other things and other satellite things are getting worse. With black-on-black crime having been around so long, it's other dynamics that are getting worse. And it has caused more division. While you acting like it's been like this, it's other things. And it's all, in essence, getting worse. You know, and my loyalty is to God first, family second, and even family members. You won't even let even family members mistreat you and do you wrong, let alone strangers. That's real. And then people wanted you to sit back and hold some unconditional alliance. And they haven't even been through the things that I just now named. This isn't lightweight stuff. This is stuff that change whole perspectives, what I've told you. And you can't even name people in your circle that went through what I just told you. So how they gonna counsel me and tell me what I should do? How they gonna tell me how to move? And when they would probably never go through it in their lifetime. That's what I'm saying. So I just wanted you guys to know why I am the way I am, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I refuse to let people sit up here and try to change and act like I'm being some weirdo or I'm being some racist jerk. Nah. I'm letting now you know why I moved away. Just what they call my mom. A dude calling my mom a nigga alone is enough. I don't care how you feel about it. That alone is enough to say, I'm dealing with people on an individual basis from the black community. Yeah, that's real. That's just abnormal, crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just wanted you to hear from me because I don't let people live. I don't let people live out lies per se concerning me, like things that I know they ain't true about me. Nah, I'm gonna get that out your head. In other words, I'm gonna let you know what's going on. You're gonna hear it from me, then you can make a decision on what you believe.